What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth. So, if you're looking at the title, you may ask yourself, Mixtape Moth, did you become a Jack Harlow fan? Or Mixtape Moth, are you going pop? Well, the answer to both of those would be no, I'm not changing up. But I decided to check out this Jack Harlow album mainly because of the praise that it was getting online. I had never listened to a Jack Harlow album before in life, but I read that he was allegedly rapping on this album and not doing the generic pop rap stuff. So I figured it couldn't hurt. It's only 10 tracks, just under the 30-minute mark. But with that being said, let me go ahead and hit y'all with a track-by-track breakdown of this Jack Harlow project. The opener, Common Ground, has a soulful, harmonizing backdrop, and Jack here is talking about white suburban kids copying the slang, but not knowing the pain of the black artists who make the music. He talks about culture vultures and people in hip-hop media who are tone deaf and lack that awareness of their privilege. He states, condescending suburban kids grow up to be rap journalists writing urban myths about who they think is the best urban kid and who the worst is and who's authentic and what the real hip-hop is and who's all in it. Yeah, I gotta admit, I did not expect this kind of sharp commentary and awareness from Jack Harlow right out the gate. I was slightly impressed with track one. Next is They Don't Love It, which has some cheery chipmunk soul. And on this one, Jack professes his love for hip hop. He talks about putting his city on and supporting all the artists who are up next. But he does ruffle some feathers with the hot take. The hardest white boy since the one who rapped about vomit and sweaters. So look, while it is good for an artist to be bold and to believe in themselves, it's also not a good thing to be straight up delusional. Jack, you aren't the weakest white rapper, but there are many better than you who aren't even as good as M. Track 3, Ambition, has a warm, soulful backdrop. It's luxurious and smooth, and here he's speaking on his ambitions in the game, his come up. Although there were some corny, cringy sexual bars along the way, but I'd say overall the flow and the production saved it. Track 4 is That Aight. It has some wholesome, sparkling production that sounds fitting for a Mac Miller, a J. Cole, or a Cordae. This finds Jack wanting to get away from the fame, the drama. He wants peace and to be viewed as this regular guy, despite all the ambitions he had on the previous track. After this is Gang, 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 where we get this hypnotic, eerie sample. It's just a very dope instrumental overall. Jack talks about having to cut ties with his childhood friends after learning that one of them was a molester and the other was a rapist. He realizes that he can no longer ride for them and scream gang, gang, gang. I'd say the first two verses are weird until he wraps it up on the third verse, but I'm sure people are likely going to relate to this song because we might have people in our circle who one day we might have to disown. Track 6, Denver, has this acoustic, somber production. That's a good backdrop for Jack to get reflective. He's talking about dealing with anxiety and depression, letting the listener into his personal life a little bit. I'd say there's nothing really to dislike about it instrumentally or lyrically. Following this is No Enhancers, and it is the weak link on the project. I suppose production-wise and vibe-wise, it's not bad, but there are some cringy, shallow bars that make it a skip for me. Track 8 is It Can't Be, and it is Jack's response to the critics who say that he has only gotten this far because he's white, not because of things like hard work, talent, swag, his influences, and the homage that he paid. But this is built around a triumphant soul instrumental that's feel good. So while Jack may have these talents that helped get him here, I still think, being white helped him considerably, so he can't entirely discount that. I'm not saying that he is, but I gotta point it out. Second to last track, Blame on Me, has a warmer, glitchier instrumental courtesy of Boy Wonder that is a real highlight. On this one, Jack opens up about his relationship with his brother. It's another track where he attempts to get a little deeper and more personal. Then the project wraps up with questions where he asks about 33 questions over this melancholy beat. If you like introspective rapping, then you should at least appreciate the sentiment. So overall, I give this project a rating of 3.5 mics. I'm not gonna lie, life would have been a little easier to accept had this album been completely trash. I low-key wanted to dislike it, but I couldn't because it wasn't a bad album. It was clear that this project was a response to all the criticism that he received from his last album, and it seemed this time around he understood the assignment. And that was to prove that he wasn't an industry plant and to prove that he is a hip-hop guy at heart and not just some pop star. At the end of the day, you may still dislike Jack Harlow's voice. You may still dislike the way he looks. You may still feel that he has mid bars, and all that's completely okay. But I think if we are being fair, and if you acknowledge that you are someone who likes straightforward rapping over smooth, soulful production, then it is hard to completely dislike this album. I don't know how much replay value this will have moving forward, but I do know that there are some solid tracks that made me slightly more willing to give him a chance. The same thing happened to me for Logic and Russ. My favorite tracks include Common Ground, They Don't Love It, Gang Gang Gang, Denver, and Blame On Me. Let me know your thoughts on this project in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, it's peace and blessings. Jack Harlow Jackman 1.